As I mentioned earlier, one of the great guys in that we deal with, and always near the top of the training ranks here. He's one off the lead here of Peter Urton and Jerry Hollendorfer. And I did want to mention, as he will too, he's put together a good team. And I said, I think you have to, if you don't smile and have a good attitude, you're not on the team. And he's got Leandro Moro that works for him, his brother Dennis, Jack, Steve Rosenblum, great owners, many great owners that include Paul Retta. Mary Gutierrez does a lot of his riding. But like I said, just a pleasure to be around, and the positive vibes that comes from there sure show up on the racetrack. But anyway, here's Doug, and he can ask away, and we're happy to have him, Steve.
Yeah, always fun to talk to Doug O'Neill, and especially with the combination of topics with the horses that he's intending. He's got as many as 5 potential starters. Jimmy Bouncer is kind of sitting on the outside looking in, but with every passing minute, Doug, with more horses pulling out of the sprint, stay on with another hour, and Jimmy Bouncer may be in the field.
Hey, good morning, Steve. I actually just got word that he is in. So, another horse just came out. So Jimmy Bouncer is in the body of the sprint turf. So we're pretty excited about that. And he's going to work this morning at Santa Anita at 9 o'clock. So, we're on our way.
Well, and how about that? I knew that Stack Deck was next on the list. Now, this is interesting. If they're telling you that Jimmy Bouncer's in, I'm wondering if who else may have declared. Obviously is going to run in the mile, so that got Marchman in, but Jimmy Bouncer was still 2 down for the turf sprint, and I'm wondering if maybe Ageless is going to be unable to go.
Ageless has come out, yes.
Very good. I appreciate that, Doug. And a pretty fateful day in terms of some decision-making. Linda Rice, Palace, and La Verdad. Now we know that Ageless, and we feel badly for the team at Leal Stables with Arnaud and Lee Delacour, the mare unable to go. So, wow. Changing sands. Now, you didn't have to declare today as things turned out, but you were considering the turf for the juvenile Ralis. Where are you on that front?
Well, he's definitely going to go in the dirt. We just kind of kept that option open, but there was really no intent to run Ralis on the turf. And, after what he did at Saratoga, it's hard to not give him a try in the juvenile dirt.
Sure. And he joins Nyquist, so sending 2 in here, and you, of course, had one of your 4 Breeders' Cup successes, Stevie Wonderboy, a winner in the juvenile, and we can tell people, of course, that the Dirt Mile, Golden Senses, fabulous performance. I think back to one of my favorite Breeders' Cup wins of yours. You know what I thought of Merrifield, how much I adored her, and she was fabulous in the slop at Monmouth. And then the upset, the biggest of the upsets, Thor's Echo, on a day where being inside at Churchill was the place to be, and he took advantage. 4 Breeders' Cup wins coming in, and when you look at the 2 juveniles, it feels like the race, with you and Dominic Schettino, you're where the thing starts, the discussions.
Wow, I love it. I appreciate that, Steve. Yeah, and this is, obviously this is a 2-day Super Bowl for all of us in horse racing. So we're super excited, and Nyquist winning the front runner here at Santa Anita was such a huge honor, and I really think it's going to set him up really well for the juvenile. So. It's going to be a big couple of days, and I just can't wait to get back there and feel the buzz.
Well, and talk a little bit about progress with the 2-2-year-olds since their, certainly for Ralis' success at Saratoga, and somewhat, of a surprise coming east and foisting the win in the hopeful. Then a little bit of a off performance and somewhat Nyquist on the same, kind of storyline. Talk about, having the 2 of them at their best next Saturday.
Well, we ended up choosing the front runner for Nyquist because it was in our own backyard, and it gave us a chance to 2-turn him, right out of his own stall, but it was coming back a little quick. But he got the job done, and the management here has been so kind to let us work before the first race today. So Nyquist is having his final prep around 12:15 at Santa Anita, and just a traffic-free, nice, fresh racetrack. It's such a dream for all these horses, and we're blessed enough to have a good horse like Nyquist to get that special opportunity. So we're excited to see how that goes, and I think you're going to see a more mature, stronger, tougher horse with Nyquist than we saw in the front runner. And again, I think just because of timing-wise, you're going to see more fuel in the tank come next Saturday.
Well, let's also fold in the juvenile filly and talk about Landover C and her intentions.
She's such a nice filly. Honestly, of all our horses, of the 4 horses that we've been pointing towards there, I think Landover C is trained as good, if not better, than anybody. She is really matured mentally and physically, and Songbird is such a freakishly good filly. But something happens and somebody goes with Songbird, or Songbird's not comfortable wherever she's at. I really think Landover C can turn the tables on her, and she's working this morning at Santa Anita as well at 9 o'clock, and she put in a really good piece of work last week. So today we're kind of take that 2-minute lick mentality and just be a steady, strong workout for her. And very happy with her, the way she's going as we get ready to ship from Santa Anita to Keeneland.
Going to also fold in the exploits of Sharla Ray, Doug, into this discussion, and certainly going to take a shot against some real heavy heads, particularly international types, in that filly and mare turf.
She's a 3-year-old filly, so there's tons of upside and improvement still in her, and yet she hasn't missed. All these races. Winning to Del Mar Oaks was just the highlight of her career so far, for sure. But you look at some of these other races too. She just tries hard every time. I know on sheer numbers she's a little bit behind some of these, and obviously a couple of these Euro fillies and mares have freakish turn of foot closing styles. But Sharla Ray, she's just a blue collar filly that tries hard every time, and she'll be 25-30 to 1, but she's going to get a few of my bucks, and I throw her in the exotics because she's a trier.
Well, indeed, and has acquitted herself really all year long. And you fold in a turf course that horses getting on it for the first time, that sand-based course, you just don't necessarily know if some of the horses that are going to be heavily bet, if they're going to take to it. I mean, this is a course where horses will take a couple of jumps and say, what am I running on? And we also are going to potentially have to deal with a little bit of give, or maybe even quite a bit of give to the ground, Doug. So, kind of a little bit of an open book right now heading into the turf races at Keeneland.
That's a good point, Steve. You're right. And that's what I love both about Sharla Ray and now with Jimmy Bouncer, is that they both have trained good on the dirt. They've run well on the dirt. So they don't seem like they necessarily have to have, that perfect firm turf course that U.S. horses often get. So I think if there is a little give or if there is a little kickback, both Sharla Ray and Jimmy Bouncer won't fight that, and they're going to give their big effort regardless of what the footing is. And I think, like you say, some of these fillies and mares and even the males can be a little peculiar if they don't get the exact footing they want.
Doug, also got to fold in that you're coming into the races with presumably Mario Gutierrez. In terms of assignments, lay them out for us. Mario really in a zone the last several months, and after kind of splashing across everybody's television sets on I'll Have Another. Had some of those fits and starts that a young rider can have, but it seems like he's getting into a nice journeyman flow, and that things have stabilized, and gosh, he's had a great fall season.
I agree. It's almost like a Scooby-Doo episode. I keep thinking we're going to pull the mask off Mario and Bejarano's going to be right there, but he's riding just out of this world. And I think for him, he's just such in a happy place right now. He recently got married, and he's got a lovely wife who's very supportive, and he just mentally has matured. Not that he wasn't, not that he was that immature before, but he's just really focused, more mature, and his work ethic has always been second to none. And you're just seeing it out there where he's putting these horses in great spots, and he's got that Bejarano magic where they get horses to hit another gear down the lane that a lot of jocks aren't gifted to do all the time. So, we couldn't be happier to have him be Paul Redham's main guy and our main guy, and we got some good horses that he's going to be on top of come Breeders' Cup a couple of days there.
Well, and separate the assignments on Ralis and Nyquist.
Yeah, he's going to obviously be riding Nyquist. In an ideal world, he'd ride both, but we haven't figured out a way he could do that yet in the same race. But Javier Castellano will stay on Ralis.
Nice.
So we got that, and then Mario will be riding Landover C. And then on Sharla Ray, we've got Jose Lescano.
Nice.
And then Mario will be on Jimmy Bouncer.
Very nice. Well, Lescano really suits Sharla Ray in terms of coming from off, and very nice. Well, you couldn't ask for more.
Believe me, we're just pumped to be blessed with 5 horses that are worthy of getting in these top races. And again, it just with the beautiful weather we got out here, we haven't missed a beat training wise. And so far we've had a few with their final preps here at Santa Anita, and it's gone good. And we got a couple more with Landover C and Nyquist getting ready to work here in a little bit. So couldn't be happier, Steve. Can't wait to see you guys, and hopefully there's some celebrating going on Friday night and Saturday night.
Well, there's always a happy scene around the O'Neill team. That's at Sales when Doug is and his brother Dennis picking out horses, and they translate them into success in the highest level. You also, of course, have got the participant in the Royal Albert Hall and the Twilight Derby as the meet concludes at Santa Anita.
It's been a great meet. Yeah, that's going to be a great race, actually, with Danny Hendricks home in there, and Royal Albert Hall. It's kind of like a male version of Sharla Ray. He just brings it every time, and we got Bejarano riding him tomorrow, and never go wrong there. So, we're hoping to finish up this great Santa Anita meet with a couple of nice wins, and then as we get heading to Keeneland, hopefully we can keep it going.
Doug, I appreciate it, and I also will note that I appreciated frank conversation a week ago Friday at a fat 9-1, courtesy of you and Andy Harrington, sniffed him right out in that pick 6.
Well, and you see unusual heat. He's out of an unusual heat mare, and we thought once we got him on grass we'd see a form reversal, and boom. I didn't know it would be that quick, but that was incredible. Knocked Tiny on the grass too is incredible, and actually that was Mario, wasn't it? Anyways, but Knocked Tiny ran second on our KO in that race, but no, thank you. Yeah, frank conversation was awesome, and we all made a little bit of traveling money with him. We've always liked him.
I love it. Doug O'Neill, I appreciate it. We got to head to the break.